Hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. As you guys know, I sold a push mower yesterday, my Toro Franken Mower 7. Sold it for $140. It's pretty good, you know. I put that thing together from parts from 3 different people, you know. Shout out to Pate's Performance, my buddy Jason, who lives 5 blocks away. Check him out on YouTube at Pate's Performance. He gave me the deck, the handlebars, and the wheels. Had no engine on it. And then I found an engine. I took an engine off of a junk mower that I got off the street. You know, the deck was all rusted, but there was a good quantum engine, you know, with the primer bulb. Anyway, I put that on, and then ran great. You know, self-propulsion works too. And then I got a bagger from Pete Lombardi, Long Island Mowers and More. Check him out on YouTube. Anyway, I was mowing my lawn with it yesterday before I sold it, right? And I was bagging up some leaves. And I was just, you know, taking the bagger off to unload the leaves into the garbage. And, you know, you step wrong, you twist wrong with a little bit of weight on there. You know, I went, ooh, you know, I feel something, you know, right around the sciatica area. You know, right up there. It's not a big deal. You know, it's not like I threw my back out or something. It's just a tweak, you know? Anyway, if you guys know about tweaking your back, man, you put any pressure, like just standing up and stuff, I mean, I can't even bend backwards, you know what I'm saying? It's much better this morning after some rest, but you know, you try to bend it backwards and you can't even bend backwards, man. You can't even stand up straight, you know? But anyway, this morning I got up and I was thinking about what I was going to do about the shifting rod, you know? Because as you guys know from my episode last, as I was just shifting, the shifting rod broke in half. So now I can't shift this thing, even though I swapped the transmission and it does work, you know. You know, I might have another shifting rod. I don't know. I have to go look in my bag of parts. I was also thinking, okay, well, what am I going to do with this thing? You know, I got to put a deck on there, right? Because this deck is absolutely dunsky. Can't use this deck, right? So I started to, you know, just screwing around and just remove some of the usable parts that I could use for probably a future deck construction, you know. So I was looking at that one over there. I don't think this one's going to work. I don't think this one's going to work for this tractor because the linkages are not right. They're not correct. And then I remember my buddy Larry told me that's the exact same deck that he took off of this, which he gave me. This is a Poulon. And if you'll notice on this Poulon, right, there's no PTO lever at all. You got the height adjustment lever right there, right? Oh, there it is, right there. I don't see a rod for that, though. Well, I might try to figure it out. I don't know. I have to figure it out. Like I don't have enough things to do, you know. Anyway, so I had a subscriber who was he watches pretty religiously, I guess. His name is I think it's Wallace Gardner. He told me, hey Henry, love to see you take apart that transmission, see what's inside. And you know what? I've never taken a transmission apart before, ever. You see this big crowbar? I was walking Boba last night slowly, gingerly, because I can't really walk. Some guy was just throwing it out into the garbage. I'm like, that's the biggest crowbar I've ever seen. He's going to throw it out? I gotta have it. So, I took it. Anyway, let's take apart this Spicer transmission off a Craftsman lawn tractor. Let's take it apart and see what was wrong with it. I'm going to chuck it anyway, but who knows? I could use maybe this pulley, this thing here, brake caliper. There's some parts on there, so I'll take it apart. Might as well take the whole thing apart so we can see what's in it. But first, I can't just throw this deck away just like that. I gotta strip it of some good parts. You never know when you're gonna use these blades. Or when you need blades, you know what I mean? So while this DeWalt is much more stronger than my Black & Decker, right? It's still not strong enough to get that bolt off. Still have to go get my 1/2-inch Harbor Freight Tools one. This Harbor Freight Tool one, 1/2-inch plug-in electric, is a beast. It's 9/16. See that? Like butter. Straight blades. Now I could dump this to the curb. I don't know how I'm going to do it with my back the way it is. Just got to be careful and work smart, that's all. Don't make any sudden moves. Don't use your back so much. Do some dragging. Use some leverage on your body. Keep your body straight. Use your arms more. There we go. Easy. So it's probably going to be messy, full of grease and oil and stuff, so got it set up here on my new driveway, but I have it covered. Got my tools that I think I might need and my chair. I'm going to be sitting in the sun, soaking in some vitamin D. Let's get to it. So, as you guys saw from the time lapse, this took me really it took me a long time, man, to get this off. You saw that this thing, the pulley, would just not come off at all, you know. I tried everything. I tried my air hammer, you know. I don't really know why you guys like those air tools. I think they all suck. So basically I had to pry this apart, you know. I had to grind off all the little things thinking that this plate would come off and split in half and be easier, but it didn't work. I was determined, you know. I should have just gave up and just said, oh, the hell with it, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to show you what it looks like on the inside. You can just go watch somebody else's video to watch inside, right? But then when I was like halfway through it, I'm like, well, I already went through this much to get it off, right? Why not just keep going, right? I mean, I was determined to get this apart, you know? It sucked. But I understand it now, sorta. So when it's not engaged, it freewheels, right? Because it's not a hydro static, it's a gear shift, right? So this thing will move freely so you can push it back and forth, right? This shaft over here is what is controlled by you with the shifter plate. There's a square end on the other hand, and you shift it, this turns this. When you turn this little part over here, see that part that sticks out, right? This goes on to like here, you know, almost like a snowblower gearbox, you know, where you shift. And this flange, if you will, rolls smoothly left and right, up and down on this thing. See? Although it's not that smooth, you know. It's okay, but it's not that smooth. So as you're turning this thing moves this up and down, right? And I guess it internally in here, it knows which gear to power, you know. Although if you turn the brake disc, right? Oh, there you go. It all moves anyway, you know. Even if I move this, let's say, over here. Okay, I heard it click, see? So it clicked into a different one. There's another click, see? See how that works? So it's just a matter, I mean, I think actually if I didn't completely destroy this thing trying to open it, right, it would still work. It just needs more grease, you know what I'm saying? You just need to clean all this stuff out, right? And grease it so that this thing runs super smooth. See, there's another click. So if this thing was super smooth, right, and the shims over here from the shifter shaft, if that was all smooth and greased and everything, you'd be able to shift it and it would go back and forth and click. But because this is, if you look at, there's a lot of like rust and old grease that's like, almost looks like there's a lot of moisture in here, like maybe water got into it, and water mixed with this is not going to be good. Also, it looks like there's some sand in here, so over the years the seals break down and outside elements, dust, moisture gets in here, starts rusting it out and not making the grease as, the viscosity of the grease very good. So I mean, that's basically the problem. I mean, anything super old is going to break down, you know. But actually, if you look at these gears, they're all very good, actually. You know, they're all pretty good. I mean, somebody could use this, you know, but it's a lot of work to put this together. I mean, I'm almost thinking, should I take this crap out and sell it? I don't think so. I'm not going to go through the trouble. I'm just going to dump it on my curb. Some scrappers can sell it to a junkyard for, you know, whatever, metal on the pound, whatever. I don't know how much it's worth, but I'm not going to do it. As cheap as I am, I'm not going to do it. But anyway, that's that, man. I did not enjoy opening this thing. It sucked, right? Spent an hour or two on this. But, you know, it's interesting. Got to see what's exactly inside this thing. Now I kind of understand how it works, you know. So that's important, you know, for the all-around learning of every facet of the trade, you know, lawn tractors and stuff. So it's good to know exactly how things work. So even though this is a Spicer, I don't know how different the Tecumseh or Peerless ones are, but and I know they're better. Tecumseh, the one that I have in the tractor now, is a much better one. I do have to go look for a shifting thing, because otherwise that thing's not going to run, you know. Or I mean, I could make something, but you know, I don't want to make something. Probably just buy a new shifter if I can't find one. But I'm sure one will turn up, you know. So that's my transmission teardown of a Spicer gearbox transmission off of a Craftsman lawn tractor. It was kind of interesting. It had to be done, right? When I set my mind to do something, I'm going to do it. I don't care how long it takes. And while this sucked, it was interesting to check it out. You know what I'm saying? It is ingenious how the engineers came up with this, and it's just man, that's a lot of metal, you know. So I'm thinking a transmission probably be worth some money in terms of aluminum and weight, you know. But that's not my gig, so I'm not gonna scrap it or anything and get money for it. I'm just gonna dump it to the curb and let the professional metal scrappers take it for free. I was forgot to tell you that the reason why I had to take the pulley off was because there was 2 screws hiding in the middle there. So because they were there, I couldn't get it off. You saw me using screwdrivers on every end trying to pry it loose and take this cover off, but the cover wouldn't come off because there was 2 bolts under here. I couldn't get to these 2 bolts without taking the pulley off. So that was the reason why I was determined to get that pulley off, because, you know, I just couldn't figure it out. I was like, man, all the bolts are out. Why isn't it opening up? You know, it's retarded. So then I realized I stuck my finger down here, and I kind of was feeling around. There was a lot of debris and stuff, you know, tons of debris. That kind of stuff was all over it, caked in there. So I couldn't see the bolts, you know, but I used my finger and felt around, and sure enough, I said, you know what? I think there's 2 bolts hiding in there. And once I removed those 2 bolts, the cover came right off. So I'm just going to put that 1 bolt there to keep it closed so that the scrappers don't make a mess. There it is, the transmission and the deck, sitting on my curb. Usually there's this one guy with a white van, kind of like mine. He comes by all the time and just picks it up. Sometimes when I leave a tractor carcass out there, I mean, I turn around and an hour later, it's gone, you know. So I know he's going to probably use this stuff. I should get his number next time. So as you guys know, my shifter rod was busted. Right here, right? This is a weak spot there. So there's supposed to be a hole in it, so it's a weak spot. So I didn't know what I was going to do. Should I buy another shifter, you know? But I went to my backyard to look at my spare parts. Ta-da! That's right. How lucky am I? I have the exact shifting rod. Perfect condition. I'm so lucky. Just installed my new shifter rod. Let's see if it works. Oh, I put the hood on too, as you can see. You know, this engine sounds great. Works fantastic. Of course, I have another lawn tractor without a deck. Something will come up soon. Anyway, that was today, man. Bad back and all. Replaced my shifter handle. I was lucky. I had one in stock. I hate these between the leg shifters because they're so old, you know. Whatever. I broke my first one. Got my second one. We took apart the Spicer transmission. Saw what was inside. But wait, there's more. As you guys know, I got this power washer from my neighbor down the street. He just knocked on my door and says, "Hey, I'm throwing a couple of things out. You want it?" I said, "Sure." I took this home. I gave it a pull. Started on the first pull. So I've got water connected onto it. Let's see if the pump works on it. I know the engine works. But let's see about the pump. Oh, by the way, this is a Chongqing Rato engine. It's a Chinese Honda clone. Rato. R-A-T-O. Okay. Run. No. Start. Has a fuel shutoff here to open. Okay, needs to just run a little longer on choke. Perfectly good, perfectly running power washer. As long as it's out. So as I was cleaning my driveway, she goes, "Hey, does that thing work?" I said, "Sure it works." She goes, "I'll give you $50 if you clean my top triangle there." I says, "All right." So I just blew it out, and I just finished. This thing works great. There's nothing wrong with this. Perfectly good power washer. 2700 psi. Pretty good power too. Now of course you guys saw I just blew this out, right? Well, the real test is, will this thing start? Because sometimes when you blow this stuff out, it doesn't start. Let's see if it starts. See you guys next time. Mowers and blowers. So I got some time left in the afternoon before I pick up my daughter. I figured I put this steel storage rack together. It's a 5 shelf unit, and it could be assembled as a workbench too, which is kind of cool, but I don't really need a workbench. My little chair is just fine. This is heavy duty construction. It says it holds up to 4,000 pounds. I was going to put this shelf up in my shed. So, because in my shed I've got like bins and bins of, you know, different parts and stuff from tractors. I figured I'd put a shelf up and be a little bit more organized. It says on the box, assembles in minutes with just a hammer. No bolts. This is a boltless construction steel storage rack. Let's see if just one hammer can put this thing together. I did just use a hammer, and I put them together. This could have been much taller, but as I was looking at the way it was shaping up, it was going to be too tall for my shed. And so I didn't want it to be too tall, right? So I've got like this 3-drawer type, Rubbermaid type, you know, it's like a cluster with 3 big drawers. I want it to fit right inside of there, right? And then this, I'll be putting other things like bins and stuff to just organize the shed. I'll tell you what, this is steel, and it just went in by tapping these little round tabs into the slots. And it really was very easy. And you could tell that it was very sturdy too. Those steel beams are very, very heavy, very strong. So that's pretty cool, you know. Now that I'm looking at it, this would make a really good bench for me to put like mowers on it and, you know, work on it without bending down and stuff. But, you know, I don't think I would use it that way. But anyway, that's how you put together a steel storage rack, seemingly like in 10 minutes, man. You know, I could have put 2 shelves on one and one big one. This could have been really tall, you know what I mean? But this will work, you know. Anyway, that was bonus footage. See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. Hey guys, support my channel, buy a sticker. Also follow me on Instagram at Mowers Blowers. Check out my website, mowersblowers.com. See you guys on my next project. Have a great day.